All right, hello, everybody. We'll go ahead and start. Since Juliana, are you there?
Yes, hi, Blaine.
Okay. Why don't you read since you were here for our story Tuesday, why don't you read our story in Spanish?
Okay. Roberto vive en una
So that's lived, so it's vivía.
Sorry, what?
Lived makes it past, so you're gonna say vivía.
Vivía, ok. Roberto vivía en una calle con su caballo. Su caballo se llamaba Ricardo. Ellos realmente tenían una buena situación, porque Ricardo siempre dejaba que durmiera en el asiento trasero. Ricardo era muy feliz con su situación, porque él era un caballo grande y siempre podía dormir mucho. Un día, Roberto se lastimó su espalda y no pudo dormir adelante, no pudo dormir más adelante. Este fue un problema mayor. Él decidió hablar con Ricardo. Le dijo: Ricardo, tengo un problema grave, un problema grande. Me lastimé mi espalda y no puedo dormir más en el asiento de adelante. No puedo dormir en el asiento de adelante porque
no puedo seguir.
No puedo seguir durmiendo en el asiento de adelante porque en realidad me duele mi espalda. Ahora va a dormir en el asiento de adelante porque yo voy a dormir en el asiento de atrás. No hay nada que tú puedas hacer sobre esto porque es mi carro. Pobre Ricardo, está muy, I don't know what's upset.
Molesto, enojado.
Muy enojado. Él sabía que no podía hacer nada. Lo pensó mucho y decidió que no había nada que hacer. Él sabía que no podía dormir afuera porque había muchos mosquitos. Él solo decidió hacerlo. Él decidió
intentarlo,
ok. Él decidió intentar dormir en el asiento de adelante solo para ver cómo le iba. Él lo hizo, pero no le fue muy bien. Él no durmió mucho. Él trató de dormir, pero no pudo. Ahí había más problemas mayores. El primer problema es que Ricardo no cerró la ventana. Ese fue el error mayor porque Ricardo era muy grande es muy grande y necesitaba sacar su cabeza afuera de la ventana para poder dormir. Cuando él estuvo en el carro, él olvidó abrir la ventana. Por eso tuvo una habitación muy pequeña.
Ya tuvo poco espacio.
Ok, tuvo poco espacio. El siguiente problema fue que se le atoró el cinturón de seguridad. Ese fue un problema mayor. El cinturón de seguridad estaba muy ajustado.
Apretado.
Él no pudo mover moverse sobre... Sorry. No se pudo mover porque era muy pequeño, muy
Muy
grande,
apretado
muy
también.
apretado. Sorry. El siguiente problema es que él trató de dormir sin una almohada. Este fue un problema de mayor. Hay otro problema mayor. Roberto roncó toda la noche. Roberto durmió como un bebé en el asiento trasero, pero había otro problema. Él roncó toda la noche y no se daba cuenta.
Sí.
La mañana siguiente, Roberto le preguntó a Ricardo cómo durmió. Él dijo, yo no dormí muy bien.
Yeah, wink es nada, no dormí
No
nada.
dormí nada, ok. Estuve toda la noche despierto. Tú roncaste toda la noche. Roberto respondió, lo siento mucho, no sabía que había roncado. Yo no pensé que roncara tanto. Roberto se sintió muy mal porque su caballo había tenido una mala noche. Él sabía que su caballo no podía abrir la ventana, no podía zafar el cinturón de seguridad y comprar una almohada para caballos. Pero él no sabía cómo resolver el otro problema. Él decidió ir a la librería y leyó 20 libros sobre los ronquidos. Ahora tenemos que ver si los libros lo ayudaron o no.
Okay, you know, that wasn't the right story. Let me see. Oh, I hope I've got it here. If not, no, just a minute. Let me see. If not, I've got it on oh, yeah, here it is. I don't know if you have access to this. Okay, let me, do you have the one about Jabari? Do you have that written out?
I have one about Jabari.
Okay, read that one. I've got it here, so just want you to read that one now. That's the one that we did Tuesday.
Okay, wait me. ¿En español? ¿En Spanish?
Yeah, do it in español.
Okay. Jabari es un chico muy interesante que vive en Leticia, Colombia. Tiene una vida muy interesante. Vive en una casa grande con 25 gatos y un canguro. El canguro se llama Stanley. Stanley es un canguro muy interesante. Tiene conexiones con la Casa Blanca. También está buscando entrenamiento especial porque quiere poder ayudar a la Casa Blanca, incluso más de lo que lo está haciendo ahora. Jabari tiene una abuela que vive cerca. Ella siempre viene a él. le gusta esto porque hace muchos, I don't know what's that,
Errands are like quehaceres.
muchos quehaceres para, Jabari, para ayudar a Jabari.
Sí.
La abuela se llama Wilma. Le encanta ayudar a Jabari. Viene a la casa y ayuda a entrenar a los gatos. Los gatos tienen una misión especial y tienen 26.
Oh, no
¿Qué?
tiene sentido. No, just 26, no, córtalo.
Ok. Y tienen mucho, que entrenar mucho. Una cosa que hacer en el entrenamiento con pesas. Viven pesos.
Yeah, debe ser, they lift. Está mal
Ellos
escrito. Levantan pesas.
levantan pesas todos los días. Hacen ejercicio 6 horas todos los días. Pueden levantar 25 kilos
Yeah,
con
that
una,
should be heavy. It should be with a Y. So pesas, pesadas.
pueden levantar tanto. ¿Dónde iba?
Yes, ellos levantan pesas pesadas. Ellos pueden levantar 25 kilos.
Con una pata.
Yes.
Todos los que conocen esto se sorprenden de que los gatos puedan levantar tanto con sus patas. Stanley ha sido entrenado para limpiar la habitación de Jabari. Esto es bastante sorprendente porque todos los días cuando Jabari llega a casa puede ver que alguien limpió su habitación. A Jabari le gusta esto. Jabari quiere comprar un pájaro limpio. Él sabe que no hay muchos pájaros limpios por ahí. Así que sabe que no será fácil encontrar el pájaro limpio. Jabari fue a una misión especial a Rusia. En el camino encontró un pájaro especial llamado Tony. Parecía que Tony era un pájaro limpio, pero Jabari no estaba totalmente seguro.
Y no podía estar.
Podía estar totalmente seguro. Le preguntó a Tony todo sobre su familia. Tony le explicó a Jabari que él era de una familia limpia y que vivían en la jungla del bosque tropical. Del bosque. Había una gran cascada en el bosque, por lo que Tony puede ducharse 5 veces al día. Jabari no estaba seguro de si Tony era el pájaro para él o no, pero estaba muy impresionado con un pájaro que se duchaba 5 veces al día.
Okay, good job. Excelente. Okay, let me see this minute. I gotta change this now to get. Okay. Okay, so now we know that there was a very interesting boy named Jabari who lived in Leticia, Colombia, and he had 25 cats and he had a kangaroo. And the kangaroo was named Stanley. And the cat, we found out that the cats are really strong. And the reason they're so strong is because they train every day, 6 hours every day, lifting weights. And we found out that they can lift 25 kilos with one paw. So they are really strong cats. Then we found out that Jabari wanted to buy a clean bird, but it's really not very easy to find a clean bird. But one day he met this bird named Tony. And it turned out that Tony was a pretty clean bird because Tony lived in the jungle and he lived by a big waterfall. And this was really lucky for Tony because he could take a shower 5 times every day. So that meant that Tony was one of the cleanest birds in all of Colombia. But he still didn't know if he was the right bird. So Tony was a little bit, or Jabari was a little bit confused whether Tony would be the perfect bird for him or not. So, now, Juliana, I want you to tell all of that back and add something. You can add another character, you can add other details, you can tell more about the cat, more about Tony, more about Jabari, more about the kangaroo Stanley, whatever you want, just add whatever you can think of to add.
Okay. In the special mission in Russia, Tony went with Jabari, and the wife of Tony say that in the say to Jabari that Tony and his family is clean, birds clean. So Jabari likes this information, and Jabari decides to go with Tony at home.
Very interesting. Yeah. So he said a lot of things to him. He told him a lot of things that were really important on this special mission.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what did Jabari think about Tony's mom?
Jabari thinks that Tony's mom is a good mother because he's like an example for other birds.
Yeah, so Jabari thought that she was a really good mother and a really good example for other birds. Why do you think he thought that she was such a good example?
Because a lot of birds don't do the special process of clean.
Yeah, they're not that clean, are they?
Yes.
How many times do you think a normal bird showers that lives in the jungle?
I don't know, never.
Yeah, they don't even shower at all. So they're dirty birds. But
Yes.
all of Tony's family, they showered all the time. So they were clean birds, huh?
Yes.
So what did Jabari think about that?
That it's a good option of bird, and Jabari wants to take all the family with.
Yeah, because they're really clean birds. Yeah. Veronica, describe the situation and add something.
All right. Well, there's a really interesting boy called Jabari who lives in Leticia, Colombia. He has 25 cats who are very strong because they train 6 hours a day and they can lift 25 kilos with one paw. I wish my cat would be able to do that.
Pretty amazing. They clean the house too.
They do chores as well. That's amazing.
They do chores, they do everything.
Oh,
They have
fantastic.
been well trained because of Jabari's grandma.
Oh yeah, Wilma, the grandma, she's the one who's in charge of training the cats.
Yeah,
okay.
she trains cats. And
She's a
every
cat
day
trainer.
she has them do something else besides their weight training.
So they train for 6 hours a day, and on top of all of that, they have to clean the house and go to the supermarket and fix the car.
Buy Cheerios at the supermarket.
They buy Cheerios at the supermarket.
Yeah.
They pour the cereal and then add the milk. And sometimes they also feed the kangaroo. Kangaroo Stanley
Sometimes,
instead.
yeah. They have special kangaroo hamburger. And the cats buy the kangaroo hamburger for
At the
it's just
supermarket.
yeah, the cats are very busy, as you can tell.
Yeah. Probably they don't get the 18 hours of sleep that cats need.
No, too busy doing their chores.
So maybe when Tony, the bird, the clean bird that takes 5 showers a day, and his whole family come to live with Jabari, the cats are gonna have to be in charge of the birds as well. Maybe.
That's a possibility, yeah.
I don't know if Tony's mother would be happy with somebody buying his son. I don't know.
That's
I don't
a
know.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah. A mother selling her son to a boy because he just wants a clean bird. So maybe she would agree for Tony to go work for Jabari and get paid instead.
That's a
of getting
possibility.
paid. So they went on a mission to Russia. That's correct?
That was a secret mission.
A secret mission to Russia. And
Yeah.
it was because Stanley has connections to the White House and the President of the United States.
Stanley's a spy.
Stanley's a spy in the Amazon. Wow. That's very interesting. What?
He's not a normal kangaroo.
Definitely not.
And he cleans his bedroom every day too.
He cleans Jabari's bedroom every day. That's true. I'm seeing that right here.
The grandma trains him.
So
So the
she's
grandma
not
not
only-
only trains cats, but trains kangaroos too.
All right.
It's amazing.
That's good to know. Yeah, she could be like the little boy in Encanto that talks to animals.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mm,
Okay, good job. Very good. Your English is fabuloso. Good job.
thank you. Yeah, I'm here as an invitation from Saide. I'm observing, but
Yeah.
I'm happy to
Good.
participate as well because I know
Okay,
she's
good.
not.
Yeah, well, it's good to
available today.
participate because we got a small class. Alvaro missed his class tonight. This is the first one he's missed. So
He's
Okay.
Saide's husband, right? Because she's at the hospital.
yeah, she's at the hospital. Yeah. So that's why he couldn't come.
So I'm happy to
Anderson.
participate.
Yeah, she told me that you guys were your English teachers then. Yeah, all right, good. Anderson, you're up. See, I don't know if he's there. or
Hi,
not.
Blaine.
Hi, you're up.
Good evening.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
I'm starting to become a teacher, and I'm really passionate about this method you found it. First and all, congratulations, Blaine, and you've changed my life. You changed my way to see teaching. Thank you.
All right, good. Wow.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, tell us about Jabari and Tony and everything.
Okay, well, Blaine, I read this story, but I'm also at the same time working. So I told Saide I was going to observe at least for this time. So I'm doing here both things.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay, so I've got some really bad news. The Jabari talked to Tony's mom and said, I'm really trying to buy a clean bird and I don't have a lot of money. And so I'm really thinking about buying Tony. And the mom said no. And poor Jabari, he was so upset. He said, oh no, I don't know what I can do. So he decided to go to Brazil. And so he was living in Brazil, but the situation in Brazil was totally different. Juliana, describe that situation and give a possibility of how his situation was in Brazil, how it was different, and talk about why he went there and whatever you want to add.
Okay. Jabari lived with Stanley, the kangaroo that works in a special mission with the White House, and with 25 cats that the cats are training with Jabari to a mission to Russia. Jabari wants a clean bird because because what? Jabari wants a clean bird because it's
He didn't have one, so he needed a clean bird because he didn't have any clean bird
okay.
at his house.
And Jabari meet Tony. That it's a bird that takes shower with the family 5.
And how did Jabari react? What did Jabari think when he met Tony?
It's really excited because she
Yeah,
to have the bird.
he was so happy to meet
Yes,
a bird like that. And the first thing he wanted to know is if Tony was a clean bird or not. So he asked Tony, he said, Tony, are you a clean bird? And what did Tony say?
Tony say yes, but Jabari don't believe about Tony about that Tony says. Then Jabari meet the wife, Tony's wife, and
Tony's mom.
What?
Didn't Jabari talk to Tony's mom?
Okay, Tony's mom, and say if it's really that Tony take a shower 5 times all day, and the mom says yes, my family do this, and Jabari say to Tony's mom, I want to take Tony with me, but the mom don't like this idea because she wants to live and stay with Tony.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah. So Tony was such an interesting bird because he was really the perfect bird in this situation. And and Jabari thought that Tony would be the perfect bird. And so Tony decided to talk to, Jabari decided to talk to Tony's mom.
Yes.
And so Jabari said, hi, Ethel. Ethel is Tony's mom's name. And so he said, hi, Ethel, I'm looking for a clean bird. I have a lot of animals in my house. I have 25 cats and they are very well trained. They lift weights every day and they clean the house. And I have a kangaroo that is a spy and he has connections to the White House. But the one thing I don't have is a clean bird. And so he said to the mom, can I take Tony to my house? And the mom said, no way, you can't have Tony. I need Tony here in the jungle because the Ethel has a house and Tony cleans Ethel's house every day. And so Ethel needs Tony to help her clean the house. And so that's why Ethel said that Tony can't go with Jabari. So tell me that back, Juliana.
Okay. And Jabari is really upset and sad because she really wants the clean bird. And Jabari goes to Brazil. In Brazil, Jabari knows a person or meet a person that sell birds, but that talk with birds, that talk the birds language. And Jabari says to the person named Kyle, I need you talk and convince to Ethel, a bird, that I need that Tony's come with me. And Kyle say, okay, I can talk with Ethel. And when Kyle and Ethel talk, Ethel accept with a condition. And its condition is that all the family, all Tony's family, live with Jabari.
Oh, interesting. Well, you're partly right. They Kyle did talk to Ethel. Ethel is Tony's mom, and said, we need a bird in our house, and we're going to Brazil. We're taking a trip to Brazil. And so Jabari, well, Jabari was living in Brazil, and Kyle was a friend in Brazil. And
Yeah.
so Jabari said, Kyle, can you go talk to Ethel and see if Tony can come? But Kyle went and talked to Ethel and said, Ethel, we need Tony at our new house in Brazil. Ethel said, nope, you can't have Tony. Why did Ethel say that they can't have Tony? Why do you think?
Because Tony's a bird in charge, encargada,
You're right, in charge of
the cleaning and the food in the bird's house.
And also, Tony has to go to the supermarket every day and buy 16 boxes of Cheerios, because the birds, they eat a lot of Cheerios. And so if Tony went to Brazil with Jabari and Kyle, the family would starve, because like the mom, she doesn't even know how to go buy cereal at the store. So it's a big problem. So you can see why Ethel said, Tony, you can't, Kyle, I mean, Tony can't go with you. He's got to stay here with me. I need him to clean the house. I need him to go to the store every day and buy 16 boxes of Cheerios. Veronica, describe the situation and add something. Tell what's going on, and then you can add your own ideas.
Okay, so Jabari went to live in Brazil, but he really, really wanted to take Tony with him. And he found a friend in Brazil named Kyle who could talk to animals. He could speak the animals' language. And he asked Kyle.
How did Kyle learn how to talk bird? What did he do to learn?
Maybe he went to live in a treetop for a long time, and he only had birds to talk to.
Yeah, there's more to this story, and this is really important. He lived in Leticia, Colombia, and in Leticia, Colombia, there's a school. It's a language school for anybody that wants to learn how to speak birds. So they have a school right there in it's a miracle. It was in Leticia. And so Kyle spent 2 years and 2 months at that school. It was a special school where he learned to speak bird. So it took a long time, but
Yeah.
now he's really fluent in bird.
Mhm. I bet he's really fluent because he has a lot of friends to practice with.
Yeah.
So after he was at this language school, which is really amazing.
Amazing. And Leticia.
So at the language school in Leticia, where he spent 2 years and 2 months becoming fluent in bird, he also learned diplomacy. So he could negotiate. So that's why Jabari knew to look for him, because he knew that he had good negotiation skills and he could help him to convince Ethel, Tony's mother, to let Tony come with him and live with him in Brazil at his new house. But then Ethel said, I have one condition. We need Tony. We're going to starve without Tony. I cannot let him go because he needs to go to the supermarket to buy 15 boxes of Cheerios, or we're going to starve. If he goes, all of us have to go with him, and I don't want to leave my house. This is a house that I built with my own beak, gathering little branches for many, many years, and I don't feel comfortable leaving my house. So Jabari was very disappointed. He was very sad.
Juliana, how did Ethel react when she could see that Kyle could speak bird? What do you think she said?
She was really surprised because Ethel at the moment don't no conocía,
Yeah, didn't know
didn't know any person that talked this language.
Yeah.
So she tried to talk with Kyle, and then she decided to get to have an condition, an acuerdo.
Yeah. Yeah, an agreement. Acuerdo is an agreement.
Agreement with all the family and Jabari about Tony's trip and Tony's responsibilities.
Yeah. So what did Ethel think when she saw this person that could speak bird?
What Ethel think is that it can be possible.
Yeah, she thought it was impossible, but she saw Kyle speaking bird. So then in her mind, she thought, is this real or is this just a dream?
Yes.
And so then what do you think? What happened then?
And then Ethel talked seriously with Kyle about how Kyle learned this language.
Yeah. This is really interesting too, that Kyle had negotiation skills.
Yes.
And another thing, once Jabari found out that Kyle had negotiation skills, Jabari told Kyle, you need to meet my kangaroo. Veronica, why do you think Jabari wanted Kyle to meet Stanley the kangaroo?
Well, we know that Stanley was a spy, but I don't know if Jabari knew that Stanley was a spy. But
we don't
he
know that.
Suspected something. He suspected Stanley was hiding something from him, and he thought that because Kyle was so good at talking to people that he could gain Stanley's trust and learn more about him. He was a really good friend. He was a really good kangaroo, and he was very grateful to him for cleaning his room every day. But he had a secret. Stanley had a secret, and Jabari really wanted to know more about him.
Yeah, it's a little more. I have inference, a little more information about this. One day, the kangaroo Stanley was in his room, and he wrote a sign, and he put it up in his room, and the sign said, "I need to learn how to negotiate better." He put that big sign up. Well, Jabari saw that, and Jabari wondered, why does he need to learn how to negotiate better? Well, we know that it's because he's a spy. But he remembered the letter that Stanley, not the letter, the sign. He put this sign up in the room that said, "I need to learn how to negotiate better." He remembered that. And so that's when it occurred to him, I think that it would be a good idea if Kyle would go live with Stanley for 3 or 4 months. And then he thinks that Kyle would teach Stanley how to be a better negotiator. And in the meantime, then Jabari would just go back to Brazil and live in Brazil. Juliana, tell me that back. Tell me everything that I just said there.
That Stanley wants to learn how to negotiate because he is a spy and needs many forms, many ways of negotiation. And Jabari thinks that a solution for that is that Stanley goes to live with Kyle and learn how to negotiate.
Yeah. Veronica, same thing, but with something else, add something to it.
All right, so Jabari found a big sign in his room from Stanley that said, "I need to learn how to negotiate better."
Why do you think he wrote that sign? Isn't that unusual to write a sign about negotiation?
It is.
I know why. He had been reading books, and the books were all about negotiation, but the problem was the books were written in English, and he's a kangaroo. So he only understood one word, negotiation. He could read negotiation and nothing else. And so that made him just really interested in negotiation.
So Jabari saw Kyle speaking, or heard about Kyle speaking to Tony's mother, Ethel, and thought he's the perfect person to teach Stanley how to negotiate better. So he can go live with Stanley for 2 or 3 months, and I can go back to Brazil. And for that time, he can teach Stanley how to negotiate better. And because he went to a language school, he knows how to teach a language. So maybe he can help Stanley with his English too.
Yeah. Now, in your opinion, is there a difference in teaching a language and teaching negotiation? Do you think the skills are the same? If you know how to teach a language, would then you know how to teach negotiation?
Being a teacher is about sharing information in a way that the student can understand. So I think it requires maybe different resources, but because Kyle was a specialist negotiator, he could definitely help Stanley with his negotiation skills.
Yeah.
So Jabari negotiated with Kyle a price for the time that he was going to live with Stanley, and Stanley agreed. He thought it was a great idea to have a private teacher that would live with him, but he didn't suspect that it was because Jabari wanted to learn more about his secret, because he knew that he was hiding something.
Now, did Kyle pay Jabari or did Jabari pay Kyle? Because Kyle needed a place to stay, and usually you have to pay rent, but Kyle or Jabari needed someone to teach his kangaroo how to negotiate better.
Maybe they came to an agreement. Maybe there was no money involved, but an exchange of services.
Yeah, what do you think, Juliana? Do you think that Kyle went to Leticia and stayed in Jabari's house free? Or do you think Kyle had to pay some to Jabari?
Okay, I think that Kyle goes to Leticia and stay free. But also, Kyle teach Jabari, and it's the way of pay to Kyle teach to Stanley, and it's the way of pay to Jabari.
Yeah. Now, how did Kyle know and how did Stanley know that Kyle had to train Stanley or give him lessons on negotiation? Do you have any ideas on that? How did that happen? Did like when he went there, did Stanley did Jabari just tell Kyle, you've got to be very strict with Stanley and just give him lessons? Because see, the problem is he doesn't know whether Stanley is even going to want lessons or not. So that's a problem. And so what do you think happened there?
I think the problem here is that Stanley don't know. And Jabari can teach. The types of lesson is like classes with books and exercises.
Yeah, now we remember that Stanley has a whole bunch of books. What are those books about?
About how to learn the special
Yeah, the specialty of what?
of training and special information about countries.
Yeah, negotiation.
Okay.
Yeah, see, he had all of those books, but why didn't those books help him, Juliana? Do you remember?
Probably with the missions.
Well, yeah, but they didn't help. They didn't help the kangaroo, Stanley, because Stanley didn't know English. And the books, so he had all of these books on negotiation, but Stanley couldn't read English. He could only read kangaroo.
Okay.
You see what a problem that was?
Yes.
So now that Kyle was there, Kyle had access to the books. So then Kyle could read the books and Kyle could teach Stanley the ideas from the books. Tell me that back, all of that back.
Probably Kyle can translate the books and at the same time teach English to Stanley. And Stanley have a secret, no? So this secret can help to Jabari. Kyle can read the books and say the books information to Jabari, and Jabari can know the secret of Stanley.
Very interesting. Veronica, what do you think about all of that?
I think this is going to be a very interesting story because I would like to see Jabari's reaction when he finds out that Stanley is a spy, or if he finds out that Stanley is a spy, and why is he in Leticia? Why is he living with him? What is his mission? They went on a secret mission to Russia, but it was to help him find a clean bird.
Yeah.
But for
Well,
an agent to live undercover, there has to be something more.
yeah. Well, the thing is, one day, Jabari was sitting at home and he had these cats, but he didn't have a kangaroo. And so he said, you know what? I need more than anything else. I need a kangaroo. And so he went to Bogota. And this was so amazing. There was a guy in downtown Bogota selling a kangaroo. $5. It was a really cheap kangaroo.
Great deal for a kangaroo.
Oh, you can never find a kangaroo for $5. And there, downtown Bogota, he was selling a kangaroo. And Stanley said, I was looking for a kangaroo. And so when he saw him, he couldn't believe it. And so he bought Stanley that day. And what he didn't know was that Stanley was a spy. And he still doesn't know this. Stanley has a lot of secret missions. And so this was all part of we don't even know all the details of what Stanley was involved in. It was just so interesting. Juliana, tell back about how Jabari was able to get Stanley. That's interesting.
How Jabari get Stanley?
Yeah, how did Jabari get Stanley?
Okay, one day Jabari goes to Medellin.
Bogota.
Okay, to Bogota, and saw a very big kangaroo.
Yeah, he saw this guy selling a kangaroo downtown Bogota. Do you remember how much he was selling the kangaroo for?
$5 pesos.
$5.
$5, okay.
Yeah, $5 American dollars.
And Jabari think that is really good price for a kangaroo, and Jabari buy Stanley and goes to
Yeah, so he bought Stanley right at that moment? And how much did he pay for Stanley when he bought the kangaroo?
$5.
Yeah, he bought him for just $5. What do you think about that? Buying a kangaroo for $5?
I think it's amazing for a kangaroo.
Yeah.
The world never can have a kangaroo for that price.
It's hard to find a kangaroo for $5. Now, why do you think the guy was selling the kangaroo for so cheap?
Because in the house don't have the space, the normal, el espacio necesario, the necessary space.
Yeah, the necessary space. Good.
Necessary space for
Well,
have a kangaroo. Another thing is that kangaroo wants to read the books that the guy have in the house,
yeah.
and I don't like this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have a little more information about it. This is so interesting. The guy selling the kangaroo was part of an international spy ring. And so they needed a spy in Leticia. And so the guy knew that Stanley was a perfect spy and that he could give them information about everything going on in Leticia. And that's why he sold the kangaroo for so cheap, because it was all, so this was all part of a very well organized spy ring. Okay, it's just very interesting. Okay, we've just got about 4 minutes left. So Veronica, just summarize everything from the class that you remember for 2 minutes. Then Juliana, you've got the same exact thing, everything you remember from the class.
All right. So Jabari met Tony. He was a very clean bird who took showers 5 times a day, and he thought he was the perfect bird for him. He went to speak to his mother, but he couldn't because he didn't speak bird. So he went to Brazil, where he was living, and he found his friend Kyle to help him speak to Tony's mother, Ethel. But Ethel didn't want to let Tony go because she needed him to go buy Cheerios at the supermarket and to clean the house. But Kyle also had skills in negotiation, and Jabari remembered that his kangaroo Stanley had
What about, how did Ethel react when she saw that Kyle could speak bird? This is so interesting.
She was amazed. She thought she was dreaming. She was very surprised.
And how
she didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, how did Kyle even learn how to speak bird?
He spent 2 years and 2 months at a language school that was right there in Leticia. It was a language school for anybody that wanted to learn how to speak bird and other languages.
Yeah,
and then he also learned negotiation skills.
Yeah, it's amazing. The whole story is amazing.
It is.
What else happened?
So Jabari wanted to know more about Stanley's secret, and he came to an agreement with Kyle so that he could live in his house and teach Stanley negotiation skills, because Stanley couldn't understand from the books that he had. He couldn't read English, he could only read kangaroo. And then we talked about how Jabari got Stanley. He went to downtown Bogota because one day he was sitting and he thought, what I need most in the world is a kangaroo. So I need to go find a kangaroo. And he found Stanley, and he was only worth $5.
It's a miracle.
Amazing, that is incredible. I am going to buy him. But he didn't know that Stanley was a spy, and that this was all part of a plan of a spy organization, an international spy organization.
And they were hoping that someone from Leticia would buy him because they needed a spy, especially for Leticia. And so when Jabari bought him, oh, it was perfect, a perfect situation because everybody was happy then. The international spy ring was happy. Jabari was happy. Stanley was really happy. He loved living there with Stanley, except they made him clean his room was the only thing he didn't like. But it was an amazing situation. Okay, Juliana, same thing.
Okay, and there's a guy named Jabari, and he really wants a really clean bird. Jabari have 25 cats, special cats, because with the paw can
Lift.
lift 25 kilos and have
How can they do that?
because the cats have a special training.
Yeah.
And nowadays the cats train 6 hours.
Yeah, the grandma trains them.
Yes, and grandma trains.
Do you think, Juliana, do you think the grandma is strict?
Is that what?
Do you think the grandma is strict?
Yes, because it's really hard, the work that grandma do.
Yeah.
Yes. Then Jabari, it's a special kangaroo because it's a spy and have the connections with the White House and with the president. Then in a special mission to Russia, Jabari knows Tony. Tony is a really good bird and Jabari wants. And Jabari asked Tony if it's really that Tony is clean, it's a clean bird. And Tony say yes, but Jabari don't believe this story because it's difficult to find a really clean bird. So Jabari talks with Tony's mom, that is Etha. What's
Ethel, yeah.
and says that he really wants to come home with Tony because he wants a clean bird. So Ethel say no because I need Tony. And Jabari remembered that he had a friend named Kyle that is good negotiator.
Good at negotiations, yeah.
And it can talk with Ethel. And the most important here is that Kyle can talk with Ethel in the language, in bird language, because Kyle lives in Amazonas, in the Amazonas, it's a school that teach the animals language. But the mom says don't. It's really excited and surprised because she don't know if a person can talk a bird language, and she thinks that it's a dream. But the mother said that she really needs Tony because Tony needs to go to the supermarket and do all things in the house. And
Okay, that's good. We're way over time. You're great, Juliana. Good job. Veronica, where'd you learn English? Where'd you learn your English?
Life. Sincerely life. And I lived in Montreal for a year. That's where I think I refined my skills. But honestly, it's just my curiosity in life.
Yeah, boy, your pronunciation's amazing. I mean, your English is amazing. It's
Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Coming from you, that's
not
really
very many people that can
huge compliment.
speak that way as a second language. It's just really good. So
Thank you.
anyway,
I've taken it really seriously, and I'm really passionate about transmitting it as well. I'm really thankful for the opportunity to observe and participate in your class, and I'll keep coming for the rest of the month. Thank you so
okay,
much.
yeah, keep coming. We love it.
I'm hoping to take the 201 for TPRS training,
Oh,
teacher
yeah.
training.
Boy, those are really
January.
good. They're just big hits. We're
Yeah, Craig is a great guy.
yeah, we're really happy with how that's going. And teachers are just getting trained better and they
Yeah,
can
it's what
do-
Anderson said. It's life changing. I've applied it to my French
Yeah.
classes with
Yeah.
a teenage student, and it works amazing. He's improved so much in only like 3 classes, 3 weeks. I can already see his fluency improving. So thank you so much for this.
It's just amazing to see how fluent their fluency. They just pick it up,
And the
and
confidence as well. Just
yeah.
Yes.
they realize they can speak and just communicate, and it's amazing.
That's the
Wonderful.
number one thing about fluency. It's confidence, and confidence comes from having strong language in your brain. It's just, even on Juliana, it's just helping her. She has little errors, and so just let her hear it, and that language that said, instead of say or something, it just gets stronger when you hear it, and it just
Yeah, but her retention of details and the
she's
line
amazing.
of the story, it's
I know.
mind blowing, honestly.
It's just amazing. There's so much there on the storyline that it's kind of hard to, I bet that's the fun of it, it's just all the storyline that.
It's great. I took some really great notes. I will be filling out this
Good.
little books. Thank you so much.
Good. Thanks for coming. Okay, well, we'll see you next Tuesday then.
For sure.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good night.